think of the word archaeology, the pyramids of Egypt, castles of Europe, and temples of Central America probably come to mind. But you don't need a passport to feel the same sense of wonderment. Here are 5 amazing archaeological sites located right here in the United States. Egypt's not the only place in the world with pyramids. In fact, there are hundreds of pyramidal earthen mound structures throughout the Midwestern and Southeastern United States. The biggest of these mounds, though, is at Cahokia, located near the confluence of the Mississippi, Missouri, and Illinois rivers just outside of modern St. Louis. While there are nearly 100 mounds at the Cahokia Archaeological Site, Monk's Mound is by far the largest. At approximately 900 feet long by 700 feet wide, its base alone covers 15 acres of land, making it have about the same lateral extent as the Great Pyramid of Giza. Between the start of its construction in the 10th century CE and its final form in the 12th century, at least 20 million cubic feet of earth and clay were used in its creation. You can still see holes left in the ground from where earth was removed for mound construction as small lakes near the site today. The top of Monk's Mound is 100 feet high, which might not sound like much, but given how flat the Mississippi River Valley is, the view from the top is incredible. You can see for miles above the trees. The only thing that breaks your view are the skyscrapers of modern-day St. Louis. 1,000 years ago, Cahokia was home to America's first skyscrapers. Well, not a castle in the traditional sense, and having nothing to do with the Aztec emperor for which it's named, Montezuma Castle in central Arizona evokes the same feeling of awe as castles clinging to bedrock cliffs throughout Europe. Montezuma Castle is one of many cliff dwellings throughout the southwestern United States that were built during the Pueblo III period approximately 700 to 900 years ago and roughly coinciding with the start of the late Middle Ages in Europe. The castles and cliff dwellings in their respective areas are testimony to periods of unrest during their time. Although many cliff dwellings in the southwestern United States likely weren't built purely for defensive purposes, their inaccessibility can't be ignored. There's more evidence for violence in the Southwest between 1250 and 1300 CE than in any preceding period, and the position of dwellings like Montezuma Castle built right into a cliff face may have provided protection during periods of raids and droughts. Regardless of its function, Montezuma Castle and any other cliff dwelling are guaranteed to take your breath away. Picture an archaeological ruin perched on a mountaintop with steep cliffs all around you and beautiful views of a river valley below. You might be thinking of Machu Picchu in Peru, but the same could be said for Chimney Rock National Monument in southern Colorado. Unlike Machu Picchu, Chimney Rock is older, dated to the 10th to 11th centuries CE, and functioned as more of a religious site than a palace. Chimney Rock is considered to be a Chaco outlier, meaning it had strong cultural ties to Chaco Canyon, a more famous and equally amazing site to the south in New Mexico. Several structures at Chaco Canyon are aligned with astronomical features, and it was likely a site of great spiritual significance. Chimney Rock also had religious importance, containing ceremonial architecture and built so that the moon perfectly shows up between the 2 rock chimneys during a lunar standstill. Visit Chimney Rock today and you'll know why this place was important as you view an incredible intersection of natural beauty and fascinating archaeology. Perhaps the most famous geoglyphs, or large designs built upon the ground, are the Nazca lines in southern Peru. But geoglyphs are present in the United States too, including the Blyth and Taglios in eastern California. The Blyth and Taglios were created by carefully removing dark-colored surface stones to produce an image from the lighter-colored soil below. Although it is difficult to appreciate them from the ground, aerial views clearly show human and animal figures, some of which are nearly 200 feet long. Because geoglyphs are difficult to date, it's unclear how old these features are. However, there's no doubt that the Blyth and Taglios are an intriguing component of America's past. Petra in Jordan is world famous for its hundreds of tombs cut into desert cliffs. Bandelier National Monument in northern New Mexico has similar features, only its rooms were meant to house the living instead of the dead. Let's return to cliff dwellings for a moment. Typically, southwestern cliff dwellings were built beneath an overhang of a cliff, but at Bandelier, the dwellings were built literally into a cliff, producing many cavates as you see today. A cavate is a portmanteau of the words cave and excavate, indicating that many of the dwellings started as natural cavities in the rock that were exploited and further shaped by people into architectural rooms. The cliffs of Bandelier are made up of volcanic tuff, a rock that is durable enough to provide stability, but soft enough to be able to be carved into usable spaces. Combined with their beautiful natural setting, the cavates of Bandelier National Monument make for an unforgettable experience. I chose only 5 sites for this video, but could have picked many more. The United States has an amazing archaeological past that deserves your interest. All of the sites I mentioned are open to the public. Please check them out. You can support archaeology in America by visiting sites run by local, state, and federal agencies, respectfully honoring them by staying on designated trails, and pushing for greater protection and recognition of archaeological sites and Native American lands. That's it for now. Comment below what you would add to the list, and make sure to subscribe to Poopy Archaeology for more videos on archaeology and science at large. Thanks.